Warning! What you are about to hear is not a normal episode of Geeknights. In fact, it is probably as far from a normal episode of Geeknights as you'll ever hear.
Well, I guess we could just go, and that would be it, and that would be as far from an episode of normal Geeknights as you would hear.
There was the last year on the Thursday before Otakon, the show we put up.
Oh shit, we have to make a show for that Thursday.
No, we don't. I'm thinking we shouldn't do anything. Well, you know what? We're talking in the wrong tense because that already happened.
It did already happen. Yes, this is Tuesday, July 24th today.
Wow, it's a week from now. We're in the future, podcasting back to you.
Oh man,
that's kind of cool. Actually, no, we're in the past, podcasting to you in the future.
Even better.
And then in the future, I guess we're. You know what? It's complicated. There's a paradox there. Suffice to say, if you are a new listener, and I know a lot of you are from all the things we did at Otakon, all the things we did at Kineticon, this is not a normal episode of Geeknights. This is what's called the Geeknights Special. Special is a code word for Rim and Scott are out of town, dead, or too lazy to do a real show.
I guess we could be dead, but yeah.
We'll talk about that on Thursday.
You should. You should listen to a normal episode of Geeknights before you judge whether you want to listen to our show or not. I don't care if you listen or not, but just don't judge us by this throwaway episode, effectively.
I care a little bit. I'm kind of mega maniacal.
Yeah.
I like people to listen to my voice.
I like people to listen, but, I just don't want them to judge based on the wrong thing. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true, because I'll tell the story, I think, also on Thursday about that.
Yeah. So, today we're just going to talk for a few minutes about a random video game. Rim picked the game.
Yeah, we kept saying games until one of us picked a game that we both agreed on. And the idea was, it's not a game that we could review. We could do a whole show on it. And at the same time, it bears talking about, and we needed something. So we're going to do a Geek Nights Flash. It's like under a special even. Tonight, we're going to review Burger Time for the Intellivision and the Nintendo and a million other systems.
Yep, so Burger Time is about this cook. And the cook, I guess he wants to make burgers.
This cook, the chef, lives in a world of giants. So he has to make giant burgers for giants to eat. But he's tiny and wears a French chef hat.
And he's being attacked by evil things, evil food ingredients.
The pickles and the French fries and that egg, that fucking egg. I hate that egg so much.
Yep, and his only weapon is salt.
Or pepper, depending on the version of the game.
But salt pretty much ruins all the bad guys. He just shakes that salt on them and they dry right up.
Yeah, for like 10 seconds and then they're fine again.
Yeah, well, there's water everywhere from the moist, steamy burgers.
I just gotta say, in terms of old games like that, this is one of the few games that really stood out as being awesome, even back then.
It was, I think what it was is back then, so many games were just unplayable, and this is a playable game that worked. So it already was like way above everything else. And not only that, but in addition to being playable and working, it was fun. Until Donkey Kong, this was pretty much it.
Plus, I remember as a kid, and this is kind of interesting, that I never owned an Intellivision or an Intellivision 2, but my grandma on my mom's side did. And every time, I'd always be excited when I went to her house because she had the Intellivision. I only had the Atari. And the Intellivision, whether you guys liked it or not, a lot of people haven't played it, or they tried to play that GameCube crap version that just doesn't work at all, that I paid $1.99 for.
Yeah.
The actual Intellivision worked really well, and Burger Time...
It worked okay.
It worked really well. Have you ever used one?
Yeah, a couple times.
What, an Intellivision or an Intellivision 2?
I don't know.
All right, well, I'll review the Intellivision someday, but suffice to say, my grandma was real freaking good at Burger Time. She was better than me for as long as I played against her.
Awesome.
And basically, you'd walk along the burgers, and you could trap the guys in the burgers, and there was rudimentary AI as the things would try to chase you around. And it always felt like the egg was smarter than everyone else. The egg was always the one who headed me off at the pass.
I think it just happened to be the placement of the egg was always in the annoying spot. The other guys were off to the side, or you could take some ladders and go around them and still get your burger together. But the egg was always right there, like on the burger or right in your way. There was no other way to go, and that's why the egg sucked.
The other thing I just really remember about it was there was this exploration aspect, because as you got further into the game, different ingredients would start appearing, and I'd always be like, whoa, check that thing out. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Yeah, because there's only so many things
you
put on a burger.
It might be a bad guy. It might be a new power-up. Of course there weren't any new power-ups.
They were all just ingredients.
Yep.
It was pretty obvious what they were.
I know, but, sometimes you never know.
Thing is,
especially in some of the versions where the graphics are better, there was no question what they were, but in some of the worst graphic versions, If you hadn't played a better version, so you see something new, you might not know what it is.
Well, pretty much it was like, all right, that's obviously the bun because it's on the bottom.
The bun is always obvious.
But there's the red thing and the green thing and then the brown thing and then there's the whitish thing and you don't know what that is. Maybe it's an onion, but they're all just squares.
Yep.
Well, rectangles.
Yep. And you step on them and they fall down and they land on the burger. And eventually you put the top on that baby and you get some points.
And I think that's the end of that because, frankly, at this moment, we are probably either watching a movie or playing a game in a beach house in Wildwood.
Yeah, if you're a punk kid and you never played Burger Time, or if you're an old person who remembers Burger Time, you haven't played it in a while, just go play some Burger Time because it's still okay. And eat a burger.